Who are the most influential figures in English history? This question might have crossed your mind at some point. Ranking these figures is no easy task. It's a subjective exercise, hinging on what one values most. Is it the cultural and economic prosperity under a monarch's rule, the literary genius that transcends time, or the scientific breakthroughs that have revolutionized our understanding of the universe? Perhaps it's the political acumen during crises, or the philosophical insights shaping our societal structures. From the Viking resistance in the Dark Ages to the healthcare reforms of the 19th century, each era carries its own significant figures who have shaped the course of English history. So, as we embark on this journey to identify the most influential figures, we must keep in mind the different aspects and time periods that weigh into this consideration. Let's delve into the lives and contributions of 10 individuals who have left a significant mark on English history. We start our journey with the Elizabethan era, named after Queen Elizabeth I, who reigned from 1558 to 1603. This period was a golden age for England, and it was under her rule that the country experienced a significant cultural, economic, and political expansion. England began to emerge as a leading naval and commercial power, setting the foundation for the British Empire. The Queen herself was an accomplished scholar, fluent in 6 languages, and her patronage of arts and culture helped to spur the English Renaissance. The theatres flourished, music thrived, and literature bloomed. It was a time when the arts were not just for the aristocracy, but for the people. This leads us to another colossal figure of the Elizabethan era, William Shakespeare. Often hailed as the greatest playwright and poet in the English language, Shakespeare was a product of the Elizabethan era. His works, brimming with wit, insight, and humanity, have had a profound and lasting impact on literature and theatre. Shakespeare crafted approximately 39 plays, 154 sonnets, and 2 narrative poems. His stories encompassed a wide range of human emotions and conflicts, making his works universally relatable even today. He introduced over 1,700 new words to the English language and penned phrases that are still in use, like break the ice, heart of gold, and wild goose chase. Shakespeare's genius lay not just in his storytelling, but also in his understanding of the human condition. His characters, from the tragic Hamlet to the whimsical Puck, continue to captivate audiences, demonstrating the enduring power of his work. In essence, the Elizabethan era, marked by the reign of Queen Elizabeth I and the literary contributions of William Shakespeare, was a period of immense cultural and intellectual growth. These 2 figures set the stage for the cultural and intellectual growth of England. Moving forward, we encounter Sir Isaac Newton, whose contributions revolutionized scientific thought. Born in the mid-17th century, Newton's innovative mind and relentless curiosity led him to make groundbreaking discoveries that would forever change the way we perceive the world. His work in mathematics is legendary. He developed calculus, a branch of mathematics that allows us to calculate rates of change and areas under curves. This mathematical tool has proven invaluable in various fields, from physics to engineering and economics. In the realm of physics, Newton's 3 laws of motion form the foundation of classical mechanics. They describe the relationship between a body and the forces acting upon it, and its motion in response to those forces. Even today, these laws are fundamental in the study of physics and have wide-ranging applications in fields such as engineering and sports science. Newton's crowning achievement, however, was perhaps his work in astronomy. His law of universal gravitation described the force of attraction between any 2 bodies in the universe. This groundbreaking law allowed him, and future scientists, to understand the motion of planets and predict their paths with extraordinary accuracy. As we leave Newton's era of scientific enlightenment, we step into the tumultuous 20th century, marked by the shadow of World War II. Here we find Winston Churchill, a figure whose leadership and oratory skills were crucial in guiding Britain through this challenging period. Churchill, with his indomitable spirit and powerful speeches, rallied the British people and gave them the courage to face the uncertainties of war. His words not only inspired his countrymen, but also resonated across the world, strengthening the resolve of those fighting against tyranny. His strategic foresight and unwavering determination were instrumental in turning the tide of the war. His leadership was a beacon of hope in a time of despair, and his legacy continues to influence the course of world politics. These 2 individuals not only shaped our understanding of the world, but also guided England through one of its most challenging periods. Next, we venture into the Victorian era, named after Queen Victoria, who reigned from 1837 to 1901. Queen Victoria's reign was an era of profound transformation for England, an era characterized by industrial, cultural, and political changes that shaped modern Britain. Her reign is the longest of any female monarch in history, a remarkable 64-year stint that saw the British Empire expand to become the world's foremost power. The Victorian era was a period of industrial innovation and growth, a time when railways, telegraphs, and factories proliferated across the country. This industrial revolution brought about economic prosperity, but also significant social challenges. The era saw the rise of the middle class, the improvement of living conditions, and the expansion of educational opportunities. Culturally, the Victorian era was a golden age for English literature, with the works of Charles Dickens, Thomas Hardy, and the Bronte sisters reflecting the era's values, tensions, and contradictions. Politically, the era witnessed the extension of voting rights and the strengthening of parliamentary democracy. Now, let's rewind to the 17th century, a turbulent time in English history marked by civil war and regicide. A key figure of this era was Oliver Cromwell, a military and political leader who played a vital role in the English Civil War. Cromwell was instrumental in the trial and execution of King Charles I, a shocking event that led to the temporary abolition of the monarchy and the establishment of the Commonwealth of England. As Lord Protector, Cromwell ruled as a quasi-monarch, implementing reforms that were both progressive and authoritarian. His legacy is contentious, with some viewing him as a champion of liberty and others as a dictator. Cromwell's impact on English history is undeniable, though. His rule marked a significant shift in power from the monarchy to Parliament, a change that laid the groundwork for the constitutional monarchy that exists in Britain today. These figures oversaw significant political changes, shaping the England we know today. Whether it was the expansion of the British Empire under Queen Victoria, or the shift towards parliamentary sovereignty under Oliver Cromwell, their influence continues to resonate in the England of the 21st century. As we continue our journey, we meet John Locke, whose ideas influenced the Enlightenment and later political thought. John Locke, born in 1632, was a philosopher whose ideas still echo in the corridors of time. His work on natural rights, which posited that individuals are born with certain inherent rights, proved to be a bedrock for democratic societies. Locke also expounded on the concept of a social contract, implying that governments are formed by the consent of the governed. His ideas on liberalism, too, have had a profound impact, shaping the political landscape across the globe. From the realm of ideas, we travel back to the 9th century to meet Alfred the Great. Ascending to the throne of Wessex, Alfred proved to be a bulwark against the Viking invasions threatening England. His strategic genius not only preserved his kingdom, but also laid the foundation for a unified England. But Alfred was not just a warrior king. He was a learned man who championed education and law reform, leaving a legacy that transcended the battlefield. Fast forward to the 19th century, we encounter Florence Nightingale, a pioneer of modern nursing. Born to a wealthy family, Florence chose a path less trodden for women of her time. She dedicated her life to nursing, working tirelessly in the squalid conditions of the Crimean War. Her efforts to improve sanitation drastically reduced the death rate. Post-war, she established a nursing school, revolutionizing healthcare by setting high standards for nursing education. Lastly, we turn our gaze to the 16th century, to one of the most controversial monarchs in English history, Henry VIII. His reign is perhaps best known for the English Reformation, a seismic shift in religious and political life. Dissatisfied with the Pope's refusal to annul his marriage, Henry broke from the Catholic Church, establishing the Church of England. This not only forever altered the religious landscape of the country, but also strengthened the power of the monarchy. Each of these individuals, in their own way, laid the groundwork for the England we know today.